#Trending would like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you this podcast. Meter delivers a complete networking stack, wired, wireless, and cellular in one integrated solution that's built for performance and scale. You can find them at meter.com/HTT. Sundar Pichai says that parts of the AI boom look irrational. Cloudflare has an outage that knocks major sites offline, including Down Detector. Google quietly rolls out Gemini in a shift away from AI hype, and a warning for holiday shoppers. AI toys are producing some interesting responses. Welcome to #Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. If Google's Sundar Pichai starts hinting about an AI bubble, it's time maybe not to panic, but it's time to listen. In an exclusive interview with the BBC, the Google and Alphabet chief executive officer said, "There's a lot to admire in the current wave of AI investment, but also elements of irrationality." That's about as close as a major tech CEO gets to tapping the brakes. Pichai said he doesn't think any company, including Google, would be immune if the bubble bursts. But he argued that big cycles of overinvestment are part of how technologies take shape. He compared it with the early internet days: exuberance, excess, and then long-term transformation. But Alphabet has done well through this time. Their valuation has doubled to $3.5 trillion in 7 months, driven partly by confidence in Google's AI efforts, including its in-house data centers and custom AI chips that compete with players like NVIDIA. But the CEO also pointed out the sheer scale of today's investment numbers. Analysts are watching about $1.4 trillion worth of deals forming around OpenAI, even though its revenue this year is expected to be less than 1,000th of that. That mismatch has drawn direct comparisons to the dot-com era, a lot of optimism and sometimes disconnected valuations. Pichai said Google's full-stack approach, from chips to models to YouTube data, gives it some insulation. But he was clear that the whole industry has a habit of overshooting. And that may be the thing to watch when one of the most profitable tech leaders in the world starts publicly suggesting the hype is getting ahead of itself. The smart move is pay attention. Cloudflare, the company millions rely on to keep websites running smoothly, found itself the cause of a widespread service disruption yesterday when one of its core traffic handling systems crashed, taking major platforms like OpenAI and ChatGPT as well as X with it, and even knocking out Down Detector, the site people use to check when sites are down. The trouble started early Tuesday morning. Cloudflare saw what it first described as a spike in unusual traffic. A systems crash had occurred that didn't bring Cloudflare itself offline, but it did impair how other services communicated over Cloudflare's network, leading to error messages, failed loads, and intermittent access problems at OpenAI, X, Discord, Canva, and even some transit and payment systems in the US and Canada. And in a twist of irony worthy of its own headline, Down Detector, which relies on Cloudflare, couldn't take reports on the outage because it was affected by the same thing. The problems were largely resolved just before noon Eastern Time. Later in the day, the company clarified the real cause, a relatively simple and perhaps single point of failure. A configuration file that Cloudflare automatically generates to manage suspicious or hostile traffic had grown far beyond its expected size, and when the system tried to read it, the oversized file triggered a crash in the software that handles traffic for several of Cloudflare's services. Cloudflare's CTO Dane Knecht posted, "I won't mince words. Early today, we failed our customers and the broader internet." The company added there is no evidence of a cyber attack or malicious activity and promises a full post-mortem on its blog. Cloudflare's statement put it plainly: given the importance of Cloudflare's services, any outage is unacceptable. We will learn from today's incident and improve. Today, I got an email in my inbox saying that Gemini 3 had launched and I could try it for free. Since I already subscribed to Gemini, I'll be putting it through its paces over the next few days. But the real story isn't the update itself. It's how quietly Google shipped what many reviewers are calling a major step forward. And after 2 years of hype cycles, keynote theatrics, and model launch countdowns, Google seems to be taking a different approach. Gemini 3 didn't arrive with fireworks, it just showed up. And even if you're not paying for it, you can try it out for free. Under the hood, we all know from early notes, it's a substantial release. Gemini 3 Pro is now integrated directly into search, the first time a Gemini family model has been embedded in search on day one, according to Reuters. Google says the new model brings stronger reasoning, full multimodal input, and a new generative UI tool set that can shift search from static lists to more interactive layouts and task-driven answers. The initial rollout goes to Pro and Ultra subscribers in the US and obviously Canada because I live in Canada and I got the same notice, with wider access coming later. And yes, the now famous Nano Banana also gets an upgrade inside this release. I'll be testing that as well, and we'll go deeper into this on our Project Synapse show this weekend. It's worth noting that OpenAI also did something similar with its 5.1 upgrade, a major step forward released with almost no fanfare. The question is, does this signal a new phase in the AI race? Less spectacle, more shipping, and maybe a quiet confidence that the best way to show progress now is simply to put the models into people's hands. And finally, if you're doing Christmas shopping, here's something to keep in mind. A new investigation has found that some AI-powered toys are producing wildly inappropriate responses, including, in one case, sexual content and instructions that could put kids at risk. In a story covered by Gizmodo, one example is an AI teddy bear equipped with a microphone, speaker, and an internet connection. In testing, researchers found the bear veered into discussions about sexual fetishes, encouraged kids to look for knives in the kitchen, and suggested ways to trick adults. All of these were generated responses, not pre-programmed, and they came from the toy's built-in AI model, or rather, the toy's use of a cloud service AI model. The concern isn't just the content. Many of these toys have weak parental controls or none at all. Some also store conversations in the cloud, raising questions about privacy, retention, and who can access the information. Regulators have been warning about AI risks for months, but these inexpensive AI components are now showing up in toys made by companies with limited oversight and pathetic quality control, at least in this case. Here's the point. As these products hit the store shelves this holiday season, adults need to test them before handing them to kids. Until stronger standards are in place, any connected toy with generative AI can produce unpredictable content. And that means the safest assumption when we're dealing with our children is caution. And that's our show. Once again, we'd like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you this podcast. Meter delivers full-stack networking infrastructure, wired, wireless, and cellular to leading enterprises. Working with their partners, Meter designs, deploys, and manages everything required to get performant, reliable, and secure connectivity in a space. They design the hardware, the firmware, build the software, manage deployments, and run support. It's a single integrated solution that scales from branch offices, warehouses, and large campuses all the way to data centers. You can book a demo at meter.com/HTT. That's meter.com/HTT. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a wonderful Wednesday.